Ireland is a land that has it all. Incredible scenery with miles of open spaces that are crisscrossed with ancient tracks and remote wild trails. It's a walker's paradise. It's a land of history, folklore and legends that date back thousands of years, the remains of which are still here in the landscape to be seen and experienced by all. From early monastic settlements to remote scholarly islands, from ancient stone circles to pre-Christian communities. It's a land of writers, musicians and poets, from the wild Atlantic Way to wild landscapes, from the coastal villages and towns that resonate with music and song to the quiet, peaceful trails in the mountain and lakeside areas. Ireland has it all.
As a historian, I am interested in Ireland's deep reservoirs of stories, culture and our richly documented past. Many of my days are spent in archives, looking through papers and documents. So when I get to head out and visit locations and historic sites, I jump at the chance. This week, I am taking the opportunity to walk either side of the border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, making my way through locations that reveal much about our complicated past. My name is Diarmaid Ferriter, and this is my Tracks and Trails. County Tyrone is situated just inside the border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. This part of the island has much to offer, including legend, folklore and a rich ancient history, but also modern tucked-away developments such as the Omagh Dark Sky Park and Observatory, where people can combine walking with stargazing and astronomy. I'm starting my walk here at the Gortin Glen Forest Park, 6 miles from Omagh town. I'm walking a looped walk and also learning about the history of the people here and their connection to the landscape. This walk takes just over 3 hours, starting in the heart of the forest and climbing upwards into the Sperrins to Monaghan before a gentle descent back to where I started. I'm really looking forward to this. It's a 12-kilometre trek, so it's a fair distance, but a nice challenge, I think. And there are a variety of different surfaces as you make the ascent. So need decent boots. I have a rucksack here as well, which has the essentials, including a phone and a map in case I lose signal, and layers. Of course, we always need layers on an Irish walk. The Irish weather can torment and beguile often at the same time, so I'm prepared for that. So let's see how beautiful and contrary the elements are today. The first stretch of my walk is through the forest itself. These trails are well laid out, the signposting is clear, and there's even digital trail information and navigation available. High-tech walking. Amidst the ancient trees we have modern technology. I'm just going to scan this because it'll give me a lot of information about the route that we're taking today. The trail is peaceful and I definitely feel that I'm away from it all. Between waterfalls and well laid out paths, I can relax and enjoy. I'm finding this walk very tranquil. The soothing sound of the water and obviously the birds overhead. But I think what I like most about the route are the shades. Different shades, they're changing all the time. When the sun peeps through the gap, it really is special. There are 6 intersecting trails in Gortin Glen, so there are numerous options and varying levels of challenge. My route is one of the longer ones. As the trail opens out, I'm meeting Declan Forde. He's a local author, poet and musician who connects his words to the landscape. Hey Declan.
Diarmaid, how are you?
Lovely to meet you.
You're very welcome to the Gortin Glens.
Thank you very much.
Right,
delighted. We're going to have a walk and a talk and you can share your bountiful knowledge. What did I get wrong?
A dander.
A dander?
You have to get your Tyronisms.
That sounds even better than a walk.
We dander.
Come on, we'll get going.
Let us dander then, you and I.
I'd say a lot more people have heard of the Mourns.
Right, yeah.
Rather than the Sperrins, is that?
Well, I'm not saying we're out of the way, but we are slightly out of the way. You know, there is something about this glorious part. I mean, to my mind, it's the best. Tyrone is the best county in the whole of Ireland, and I'm sure you agree.
You have to say that, don't you? I'll be in trouble if I don't agree.
Well, that's it, yeah. There is something special about Tyrone. Maybe it's in the air. Maybe it's in something in the Gortin Glens, in our own mindfulness, our own way of just maybe walking, tramping through the past and going straight ahead.
And when you consider all the teaching that you've done and the storytelling and the music, do you work the landscape into that kind of work?
My sense of place is very simple. You know, you'll not know where you're going until you know where you've come from. It's an old adage, but it's true. And the landscape, to me, is part of it. I suppose getting personal about it, you can actually express more in a poem or a monologue or a song when it's about somebody else, but it's really about you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the joy of it. And it is very much centred in this place, in the landscape, in that sense of place.
Where's this path headed now, Dick?
This path is going to witness the ascent of man, because you're going to walk up. You see that steep hill there? And you see that even steeper hill up there?
You're getting great pleasure from talking about the steepness, aren't you?
Absolutely. And there, look at the pinnacle, look at the top, look at the peak. Go, enjoy it, and hopefully we'll meet again in the Sperrin Mountains.
Pleasure talking to you.
All the best.
Thanks
Take care.
a million.
Lovely
Safe
meeting
home.
you. Take care.
The top of Monaghan is home to this giant. There are 3 of these artworks across the Sperrins linking the hilltops. They're part of the giant heritage sculpture trail to represent the area's geology and archaeology, and they link past, present and future. From here, the surrounding counties can be seen in a 360-degree vista. I read a poem years ago by Harry Clifton, which was inspired by the Ulster Mountains, called Deep Ulster. And he wrote about being high up in sheep country and the enormous relief of being up here above politics, and how the old knowledge and the clouds would free up the mind again, and how the weather fronts would give way to such ambivalent light. I can really feel the essence of what he was writing about now. From here, the texture of the trail changes and my descent begins. This ridge is boggy land, but leads to a view of the whole local valley. Here, I'm meeting Dr Patrick Fitzgerald. Paddy's a historian, and his work focuses on how the people connected to this part of the landscape lived and migrated over the generations.
Diarmaid, good to
Lovely
see you.
to meet you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for coming up.
Not at all, it's a pleasure.
Great. Let's
Okay,
walk
can
and
I
have
head
a
on?
chat. Do you find yourself thinking historically? You know, when you're looking out,
Yeah,
of
you do.
what that represents,
Yeah,
and
you
what
do.
past it represents.
yeah. You can't help but walk through a landscape like this and ponder and think about land use, people, you know, my thing's migration, so the flows of people, how this place was populated. I mean, even thinking right back to Mesolithic and the very early settlements, all that, you know, comes into your head when you're walking. Yes, Northern Ireland often, you know, triggers immediately the idea of a divided society, segregation. But actually, I suppose when we look back historically, you also see how a landscape, particularly in a major river valley like the Foyle, which we're connected to here in the high ground down to the River Foyle, it's about how people interconnect, that there's all this huge West Ulster connection into the river valley and ultimately then to the port of Derry.
Yeah.
And Derry, of course, was the big entreport out across the Atlantic to British North America, Canada, the United States. Huge story.
Yeah. Of course, that was another common experience, wasn't it? The
yeah.
Exodus.
No, I mean, again, I'm very fond of saying to people, one of the things that Catholics and Protestants actually really did do together in the 19th century was to leave.
Yeah. After getting some fascinating insights from Paddy, my walk takes me from the soft boglands back to where the trails are smooth underfoot. From here, it is downhill to where I began and where the loop closes. That loop is a very satisfying walk. There's great variety in the terrain and the range of views as you climb up, really impressive. There's great solitude to be found as well on these walks. And to get those insights from Declan and Paddy, really illuminating and really helped. It's nice to walk and learn at the same time. And when you do get to the top, to be able to see so many different counties. We're in Tyrone now, but you can see Armagh, you can see Derry, you can see Donegal, you can see Fermanagh. And you get a real sense of rising above the boundaries and the divisions. We talk an awful lot about the border, obviously, and the divisions. But the landscape, when you get to that height, it doesn't recognise those boundaries and borders. And I think the Sperrins are not as well known as they should be. I'll certainly be back.
If you enjoy the show, follow us on social and tell us your story. We'd love to hear about your tracks and trails, especially if it's influenced you in any way. Has it got you out walking? What were the benefits? Your feedback could inspire our next show.